I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC,
What's up, world? It's your boy, it's Money Man TC, and we're here with another episode of Financial Literacy with TC. I want to thank you guys for joining us for another episode. I'm super excited today because we're going to be talking about business, entrepreneurship, networking, professionalism, everything you need to be successful in business. But before we do so, I want to make sure I give a shout out for our production crew, UwebTV. Make sure you check them out. They are responsible for making sure that we look good on camera. And I just always want to show love and appreciation for UwebTV. But my guest today, man, I'm super excited to have his brother with me. He's doing phenomenal things in the city of Pittsburgh. He has a amazing hub and an amazing network that he's built from the ground up. He has a ton of background in entrepreneurship, business, and he created a hub that allows people who look like us and people who don't to be able to connect with his network. He talks about professionalism, mentorship, and he basically just gives guidance and gives people who are on an entrepreneur journey a platform to be able to come fellowship and grow their business and grow their network. And so I just want to give a shout out to my man, Jordan Pratt.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate
man,
that. I'm excited to be here. Excited to be here.
So I intentionally did not say the name of your organization because I'm a firm believer that no one can speak life and speak energy into your brand better than you. So if you could do me a favor and just let people know who you are and what you do.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me here. Thank the cameraman. Appreciate it. First time meeting this guy, but it's exciting to be here. My organization is called Bridge City Connections.
Yes.
Guys, right? What is Bridge City Connections? You're probably wondering, what do we do? What do we offer? And it's many things. The foundational piece of Bridge City Connections is simply what Tyler said, is to organize resources, a network, people, things, and opportunities to advance your career or business, whatever that case may be. There's different categories that we do: real estate, finance, events, just way different events, tech events sometimes that we host. It just varies, guys. So many different things with Bridge City. That's the foundation, though. Right.
Absolutely. And, I'll be honest with you, man. We met just based on moving in similar circles. Mm-hmm. So when we're talking about networking, I'm an avid networker, and so are you. So when we came together, I just had popped up to, I think I was on Eventbrite, and I saw Bridge City Connections, and I'm like, oh, this is dope. I think that's the specific event I'm thinking of. You were targeting young professionals, and I'm like, hold up, I'm getting away from the younger side, but still young at heart. But and I showed up, man, and you had the place filled with young black brothers, young black sisters, and the vibe, the energy just felt right. You had some food going, had some drinks going, and the energy and the intentionality behind what you did was just phenomenal. So I just wanted to see what inspired you to create Bridge City Connections.
That's a great question. I get this a lot, and I think it was out of necessity. Okay. Right. For me, young black man, light skin.
Right.
From Uniontown, PA.
Right.
A lot of people may know Uniontown, PA. A lot of people may not know it.
Right.
But there's not many people that think big in those small towns, right?
Right.
So coming from Uniontown, graduating college, and then moving to the city, I wanted to be a business owner, which I started with my moving company, Fast and Efficient Services.
Right.
But then I realized I like big tech. I like big business.
Right.
I like broader ideas to where I understand, coming from a small town and a family that doesn't have this background,
right,
I cannot do this by myself.
Right.
My friends aren't really into this shit. Excuse my language. And you guys know, my friends know what it is.
Right.
I left group messages. I'm not talking to people. I'm not hanging out with people. Right. And this all causes some type of emotional toll on someone who wants to be bigger.
Exactly.
So that's where Bridge City came along, is to where I needed to organize people.
Right.
I needed to find people that I can start talking about these ideas with.
Yes.
Organize and maybe building a project with them.
Right.
So I hosted my first event, right? It was at Blue Sky Kitchen.
Yes.
Right. Blue Sky Kitchen.
Yeah.
And this is in Bloomfield.
Right.
Tyler, they own, I forget Tyler Lewis, his name is.
Tyler
and we
Lewis.
didn't know each other at the time. If Tyler sees this, are you familiar with Tyler Lewis?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
They're over at Gingerbread
Okay.
Beer, right?
Yeah.
Gingerbread Beer, they're killing it in the city right now.
Right.
Jack Horse Ginger is what it's called.
Okay.
But Tyler Lewis, he was the GM or the manager over at Blue Sky.
Nice.
Hit him up, called him, and was like, hey, is this a place where I can host some people?
Right.
So with that, I just took a leap of faith, set up the location, and then I set up the idea, right? So the idea was simply to connect young professionals and like-minded people that are interested in real estate, that are interested in tech, that are interested in crypto.
Yeah.
Now, these were the first foundational pieces because I was simply gauging who's interested in what.
Right.
And that's why I started Bridge City. It was out of necessity. I need to find my people. I need to find people who's doing cool shit in the city.
Right.
That I wasn't tapped in with directly.
Absolutely. No, and I love that because with that grew intentionality to where, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll let you speak to this, you intentionally invite people to be a part of your network and your growth. And I believe that looks like it's a form of a subscription or a membership. Yeah. You tell me if I'm...
Yeah, so it didn't start as a membership.
Okay.
I developed it into a membership simply because as I grow the organization, and I'm bootstrapping this thing, right? But you want to look at as business structure, like I had the option of going nonprofit or I had the option of going for profit.
Right.
Me, the nonprofit route, it seemed pretty cool. It seemed like something I could do with this.
Right.
But again, I'm thinking big ideas, big business. Tech is something that I want to do. So for profit made the most sense long term, right? When I'm building Bridge City, it's always thinking long term, 10 years down the line or so. And it's hard for a lot of people to think like that, especially when building a business or a product or some type of service. But with Bridge City, I knew it's going to take time. Right. It's not something that I'm going to do right away. So I'm thinking for profit. And with that, I started the subscription because I'm not just going to give these free resources to y'all. As much as I want to, as much as we want to give the free game and this and that, over my time, I realized people take advantage of that. Right.
And the value the people who are intentional about leveraging those resources, they're willing to pay.
They're willing to pay every time.
Absolutely.
And I learned that from Myron Golden. He's one of my mentors on YouTube. I'm familiar with him.
Familiar. Yep.
I picked up on him a lot. Myron Golden is big on, if you're not ready to pay to play, then just get out the way. Right. Just get out the way. Right. Because we have to either pay with our time or our resources. You can't just get everything handed to you because then you're not going to take it seriously. Right. So that's why I created the subscription to see who's actually going to take Bridge City seriously. Yes. Who's willing to invest in these ideas and willing to grow with me. Right. So that's why the subscription, it's a small fee. It started at $9.99 a month. I did raise it at $19.99 or $19.99 a month. Right. But actually, I'll say this here. I may be bringing that back to $9.99 a month. Okay. Simply because I want this to go at scale. I want many people to take advantage of it. Right. And not just, look at that $20 a month and be like, oh, it's a little too much. Right. But it's not that much.
It's not.
It's relatively thinking.
And I always look at it in a term like this. If we pay attention to how people are navigating their spending, mind you, this is a financial platform. You spend, I know people who have subscriptions to these Netflix, Hulu, and don't use them. And this is, if you are someone who are intentional about getting into entrepreneurship, starting your own business, networking, building your platform, that $9.99 investment shouldn't even, it should be a fly.
Absolutely. And I look at it like this, right? I'm a creative entrepreneur, an entrepreneur that thinks outside the box. And with that, you have to find ways to think smarter and not harder, or think of ways to sometimes do things with a little bit amount of money. Because I don't come from a family of money. I come from a family that is come from the hood, low poverty. My mom, shout out to her. She's a great mom. But working 3 jobs, growing up without a pops, you don't get to do much with your money. You don't get as many opportunities. So you have to think creatively.
Exactly.
With that, it comes many subscriptions.
Right.
I'm talking about Canva. I'm talking about CapCut. I'm talking about Notion.
Yes.
What our members dashboard on is $15 a month.
Yep.
That members dashboard has made me way more money. I think people don't understand that $15 investment, $20 investment can make you thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
It made me hundreds and thousands of dollars now from these small investments.
And it saves you money.
It saves me money.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not paying for maybe an editor where I can do this. I have an extra 30 minutes to an hour.
Absolutely.
I'm just do this myself.
Right.
Or AI now, to where AI will take long form videos and cut it into short form videos. So now if I pay for a subscription like that, $15, $20, maybe $50 a month, I'm saving time and money by doing this.
You impressed me early on, and I don't think I've ever told you this, but I started to pay attention as you did month after month of just the people you were getting into the rooms. And I was like, that's impressive, because a lot of times connections are built in so many organic ways. And I'm talking like you had VPs, CEOs of banks, people who are big time people in, the state, the country, showing up and being the headliner for your events. And, I'm talking about major players, people from PNC and other institutions. And that was impressive, because I'm like, this is a brother who can go out and get the big time decision makers, the big time resources, politicians, whoever, get them in a space, and then let, what you would consider the average person be able to come and have access to that person. And not everyone has that ability or capability to be able to pull, people who we feel are our leaders, or our community leaders, or people who are, in places that unless you have a certain dollar or net worth value, you'll never be in their presence. So to me, your platform embodies that, because I'm like, he could get people to show up. And now he has people who you only see on TV coming, you know what I mean? So I found that was very impressive.
I appreciate that, because that's something that's important to me, right?
Right.
I'm not a person that likes to gatekeep.
Right.
I'm not a person who wants to not give information because, I think it's going to hinder my business.
Right.
I say, fuck that.
Right.
Excuse my French, but I'm talking raw on this platform today.
Hey, that's what I love, baby.
Because simply, when I needed the opportunity, I was looking for people that was willing to give it.
Right.
And there's not really many, right? So I want to be that person that gives the opportunity, no matter if, I'm comfortable in mine, is what I like to say. If you're comfortable in your business, comfortable in your skills or your resources or your network, it's not going to matter if you give advice.
Right.
If you give free game or give the foundational pieces to this business where some young cat may need it.
Right.
Or I look at it like this. Learning has nothing to do with age too. Like when it comes to Bridge City started as a young professionals hub, but then I started to learn some of the older cats need this information too. And they're scared to go into these rooms where I'm not.
Right.
I'm going to organize it for you, but just take advantage.
Right.
And that's what I look at it like. Age does not matter in this. There's still a lot of information to be given and a lot of information to be learned.
Right. No, I love that, because my background in banking, I started early where I was like, I had imposter syndrome, and I would go to banquets and big networking events, and I had to really build my strength and confidence to say, CEO of this institution, I can talk to them. They're no, at the end of the day, when you got wine or drinks in your hand at a mixer, 9 times out of 10, they're talking shop, but it's shop where it's real. You're not really getting into all the complexities of being in a boardroom. But so to that point, how would you say Bridge City Connections is different from other networking groups that exist here in the city?
Good question. And I do have to start by saying I went to a lot of the networking events when I first came to the city, right?
Right.
The PBX and the young professionals, just different events different real estate events to gauge where are my people, where do I need to go.
Right.
And I went to PBX the most, I would say.
Okay.
Simply because I had a good friend, Mike Anderson, who did their website.
Right.
And I was a photographer at the time. Shout out to the cameraman now. But I was taking pictures for PBX.
Okay.
But I realized something there. And this is no shade to PBX because they do incredible stuff. They're the leading networking event in the city, of course.
Right.
But I realized, one, there's not many people that are like me, to where, they're still looking for opportunities or they're trying to make it out.
Right.
And two, there's not many of color. No shade again.
Right.
Three, I was like, there's not many young professionals.
Right.
There's not many young people here. Where are all the young people at?
Right.
Right. So with that, there's a lot of the figuring out and learning as I go. Like, who should I talk to? So I'm being timid. Like, I don't want to talk to them. Like, they're a leader in the city and stuff like that. So I think PBX really was that foundational piece for me of like getting out of my comfort zone.
Right.
Talking to these professionals, talking to the leaders, talking to some of the CEOs downtown. And then from there, I was like, I need to create a room where there's more opportunity, not as much gatekeeping, not as much, more young professionals, more people that look like me, more Black folks,
absolutely, more
this, more that. And I'm like, all right, I've always been a person that I am a little control freak a little bit, right? So I wanted to host my own thing.
Right.
I didn't see anyone else doing it in the city, so I created a place where it could be opportunities. There's not much gatekeeping. There's a variety of people and there's a variety of professions.
Right.
Not just one thing or one type of person or, people or organizations or groups that have been together for years and just want to stay together. Right. We're going to be open. We're going to be just like a free market, I mean? That's why I like and think of Bridge City as being as like a free opportunity place where big ideas can grow.
Right. No, and I love that because the beginning of 2025, a study came out showing that our city is one of the worst for Black professionals to stay. Okay, yeah.
I saw that.
And I had to agree because to your point, the opportunities don't seem as lavish or
they're not. This is not.
Yeah, so compared to your Atlantas and other people that were flocking to.
And it comes from two sides of things too. I look at it like this. It's where there's a career as far as like corporate,
right?
Or you can be a business owner,
right?
Corporate, gatekept. There's so many people in that arena that is gatekeeping and wanting to keep everything to themselves,
right?
Or for some type of family member or some type of close friend to their network,
right?
Rather than business, you can almost break the barrier. You can come in, create a product or a service that maybe one, cheaper,
right,
better quality, or something like that to where, okay, now I'm out of the rabbit hole. I can't be gate kept.
Right.
I can break down a door or get into this room because I offer something different.
Right.
So that's where really the lane I took with that, as far as, once I saw like, these people talking amongst themselves, and when I try to jump in the conversation, they're not letting me in this conversation.
Right.
So that's what I learned. I was like, all right, I'm just going to go this route, start creating things, creating an offer, and then pitching it. That's all it turned out to be. And then once I learned, like, these people actually aren't that creative.
Right.
And no shade to a lot of the people, but they're really not that creative.
Right.
I'm very creative. So let me just start pitching things.
Right.
And seeing what these non-creative people, corporate workers, are actually liking. And then I realized, wow, you can really do this at scale or just start, communicating your ideas and people start to pick up and like it and start gravitating towards you. Right. And start wanting, okay, I can pick up off that or that can be beneficial to me. And in turn, it's like this. Yes, it's beneficial to them.
Right.
But in turn, if they help you get here, it's beneficial to you as well.
Right.
And I think not a lot of people think like that.
Absolutely. And to buffer your point, this past, I want to say it was April or May. I can't figure out which month. You could probably help me. You had one of your most successful Bridge City Connection events held at Pear Charcuterie. Shout out to Shaquela.
Shout out to the Pear.
Yeah, shout out to Pear. Check them out downtown, 201 Smithfield Street. But you were intentional about getting people in the room because we knew the NFL draft selection process for 2026 was happening.
That was April,
of April of 2026. And it was packed. Like you had everybody in there and there was great conversation being had. I want to say Aaron Griggs I forget his relationship to her.
Aaron Griggs' is dad.
Yes, her dad. Yeah. Former NFL player. Yeah, he was there. He gave amazing advice and it was all young Black professionals. And, he was saying, hey, go apply. He gave us a little insight on what the draft selection looks like for cities and things of that nature. And it was just information that I'm like, man, if you didn't show up to this one, you really missed out some value.
Yeah, you're not getting it. And I still don't think people are really getting it.
Right.
Because everyone's hosting events.
Right.
Everyone's doing this thing. But I think like what it comes down to is like really taking in the value.
Right.
Like what events are really giving that value. And I'm not a person who toots his own horn all crazy, but I do. And I'm very intentional about who I bring to collaborate with. Right. So I appreciate that.
For sure.
That's important to me.
No, that was a dope event, man.
And that was simply based off of, the opportunity.
Right.
There's the opportunity here. I'm going to connect this opportunity to the people.
Right.
And then in turn, I get to take advantage.
Right. No, and honestly, I brought that up because I hear so many people say, I want to be a business owner, I want to be an entrepreneur, but they don't really surround themselves with like-minded people. And if you're not tapped in with an organization like Bridge City Connections, there's a reason why you probably won't be successful at trying to become a business or entrepreneur because you think you just having an idea and selling people something is all there is to it. Mm-hmm. There is a level of intentionality you have to build your business acumen up, to be able to understand how business works, the structure of how money moves. Mm-hmm. Like there's just so much more that goes into it other than just having services or goods and trying to solicit the people to get it. Mm-hmm. And for me, when I see you have your organization and how you intentionally strategically pay attention to what your network is saying they want or need, and you bring it to fruition, and then all they gotta do is show up.
You said they gotta show up. So and when it comes to like business, and I think we picked up on this a little bit before the conversation started. Yeah. It comes from learning, right? And with learning, it's failing a lot.
Yes.
Like a lot.
A lot.
Right. So before Bridge City, before Fast and Efficient Services, like I have success with Fast and Efficient Services. I'm having some success with Bridge City, even though we just started. I started many businesses before that.
Right.
Like I said, I was a cameraman, did photography, videographer for a while. I started a lawn care business, J&J Lawn Care. I had a partner with that. Was taking over Uniontown, cutting a bunch of lawns.
Right.
Right. I had success, but then it just wasn't scalable.
Right.
I was doing, building websites.
Right.
Building logos. There's so many things that I learned and picked up on, and I just threw myself into the ocean, was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna try this.
Right.
Because one, again, I'm gonna bring you back to where I'm from, Uniontown, PA.
Right.
A single mom, my dad's not really in the picture. I don't got no money. I got to go get some bread.
Right.
So one, figure out a solution. How do I go do that without staying, without getting in trouble?
Right.
I'm going to figure out how to build a logo. I'm going to figure out how to build a website myself because I have to do that for my business anyways. Right. Even though this shit, it looked terrible in the beginning. Right. It's like,
right.
I think that's the biggest problem for people is like, in the beginning, it looks horrible.
Yeah.
Right. But keep letting it look horrible. Just keep iterating. Keep changing it up, keep switching. I've changed my website about 100 times before I was like, all right, this is something actually decent that I can use.
Exactly.
So that's what it is. Like fail. And then eventually you get to a point where I'm at this point now. And I still don't think I'm not the greatest entrepreneur, business owner. You know, people watching this, you're probably ahead of me, to be honest.
Right.
But my thing is mindset and fail, and not being afraid to do that.
Absolutely.
And that's where I think my leverage is.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's talk about results. Let's be honest. It's not about just coming, eating, drinking, and talking. Mm-hmm. There has been tangible results that I've witnessed you have from people who've shown up. I'll give an example, and then you can give a testimony or a story, of someone who's had success coming from Bridge City Connection. Shaquela and Imani. Right? Yeah, I'm sorry, Imani. Shout out to Imani. They had an opportunity to do a pitch competition, partner with Realty Thinking. Shout out to my boys.
Shout out to Realty. Malik,
yeah, they had an opportunity to pitch their business to neighborhood community fund, excuse me. And that is a real life lender that they were able to do maybe 5 to 10 minutes to talk about their business and basically pitch to get funding. And it was a phenomenal turnout. They did an amazing job. And that is tangible proof and tangible evidence that if you are really serious about elevating and growing and scaling your business, you can be able to be connected with a network and a platform that allows you to do so, and effortlessly, I might add, because, they were just there in the room and they, intentionally told about their business and who they are. Mm-hmm. And I know that they had some rewards and some results that are working in their favor. So.
Absolutely. I mean, just go on top of that, that specific event, the business loan readiness competition, you're getting in front of a potential lender, let's just call him a collaborator, because I use collaboration a lot. Yes. A potential collaborator in your business or your service that you're trying to develop. And Shaquela took full advantage, and shout out to Shaquela because she always takes full advantage. And Pear Charcuterie and the things they're doing down there are testimony of what they're doing and why she continues to take advantage and the results of that, right? Amani is the same way, is where he took advantage of the competition. He was nervous beforehand. Even though he's nervous, he still did it, right? And in terms, Amani was highlighted in a business overview video. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. I have to check that out.
But with Dollar Bank, he got into their program.
Nice.
So these, right away, coming to an event may not create some type of value, even though I do think it will. You'll get value right away.
Right.
But if it doesn't, you do see value on the back end, right? Yes. By creating these relationships, the people that are meeting through the events, you'll find someone to where eventually they'll be able to help you grow your business.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's pretty much testimony of what you were saying.
Absolutely.
As far as the resources that I do think everyone needs to take advantage of is coming to the events right away. We have an event August 28th.
Nice segue. Nice
6 to 9, right?
6 to 9.
At Cohatch Waterfront.
Yes.
Which will be a brick by brick business and real estate growth section, guys. We want to make sure you guys get the foundational pieces to business building.
Yes.
And real estate, either buying your first home or buying your first investment property.
Yes.
Right. All these things we're going to have in the building.
Yes.
And I don't think they're really understanding the magnitude. Yeah. Like, in order to get in front of United Purpose, how would they originally have to do that?
They would originally have to just be somewhere where we are.
Where you are.
Yeah.
Just hope and direct to, right?
Yeah, exactly. But we need to change that.
You're getting the direct access to a lending company, guys.
Yes.
These resources are directly in the same room as you. If you're not taking advantage, I honestly just don't even follow us.
Yes.
Because there's no need. That's how I feel now.
No, for sure. And to buffer your point, the goal is to be intentional about, look, we want homeowners, and especially Black homeowners. homeowners. Now, obviously, we work with anybody, but we understand that there's a huge wealth gap between white and black people. And we want to start bridging that gap. And we know the easiest and most ideal way for any and everyone is to become a first-time home buyer.
Yep.
So we're going to be having intentional conversations about that. We're going to have promotions for a November event we're doing called Invisible Lines, where we are educating you and having people come into a space in Homestead again on 8th Avenue. Shout out to Hill and Company, their event space, where we're going to be talking about redlining. We're going to have panel of discussion about that. And just having people in the industry come, and hell, if you're not in the industry, come learn. You might be a prospect. You might learn how redlining, came to be and how it impacts where we are today. But I saw that to say this event, I think PNC is another sponsor. They're going to be talking about commercial lending. Yep. So you're really going to have a lot of major players in one space, giving you the business acumen, giving you the real estate services and different products that can be advantageous for you. And then you'll also have lending on the commercial side. So like he said, brick by brick, we're going to be attacking the foundation of how you get to be a homeowner, how you get to be good at business, how you get to be able to have a commercial space. But all you got to do is show up.
All you got to do is show up. And this event is specifically but not only for young professionals. And why I want to talk to you, and I'm looking at the camera right now, is because young professionals need to take advantage of these opportunities right now. I don't think majority are. Right. I think we look at, I'm going to take a step back. We look at college as the end all meets all, right? We look at college as something to where, I'm going to go 4 years to college, spend $100,000 in hopes to make money.
Right.
I can name 3 people off the top of my head right now that's been to college, has degrees, but still can't get a job, guys. This is very important, right? Yeah. And the only way, and I truly believe this, is your network is so powerful. Yes. You need to be in these rooms. You need to be in front of these people. You never know who you're going to meet, because they can either help you get a job or help you grow your business.
Yes. And this is Financial Literacy with TC. And we keep it real here. Let's be honest. To his point, if you're not paying attention to the political climate, then you're hurting yourself financially, because we know he's not forgiving any school debts.
None.
So pay attention to people who've already lived it, who are up into their eyeballs in school debt, and think about I don't begrudge college if you can go for free. But to think that you are going to be able to navigate the expenses moving forward based off, you not doing research, or you not looking at other avenues to be able to still get to where you want to go, but more cost effectively, then what are we really talking about? I say all that to say, this is going to be an opportunity for you to be able to look and explore other avenues to build wealth, to also get an additional income, or to elevate your business in some way, shape, or form, because it's all relative. I don't care what business you got. At some point, real estate will become a part of that equation.
Absolutely.
How much do you know is going to be able to take, or is going to play a factor of how well you do in that space? So,
great point.
Yeah,
I can't say it better. For real.
So let's get you out here on something fun, because I definitely want to make sure we do 2 things. We make sure people know how to find you and how to join Bridge City Connections, and also make sure that they know about August 28th. But the fun thing I wanted to do is, what would be your top, what's a hobby you have first?
See, I'm a little, and I would a little unorthodox here.
Okay.
I like that question though, because I like to show people the other side of me, because I don't really show it at all, right?
Right.
I'm a big hiker.
Okay.
Right?
Ooh.
I like to hike and see waterfalls.
Okay.
So, there's a spot I go to in the city. I'll put you guys on. Don't be taking over my spot. But it's called Fall Run Road, right?
I've heard of that.
It's in Shaler.
Okay.
It's only 20 minutes outside the city.
Yeah.
There's a beautiful waterfall there.
I like
to set that up in the morning, get some peace, maybe put a little podcast on, maybe bring a notebook out, maybe do some of the extracurriculars. You never know. But that's one of the things I really enjoy doing, that I don't think a lot of people do, that need to do it.
That's dope.
you know.
Because that peace and serenity, because
Oh man,
I ain't gonna hold you. I probably won't do it as much as you, but I will be trying that out.
Yeah.
So actually, you just created what I wanted to ask you there for the top five favorite podcasts.
top 5.
Because I'm a huge podcaster as well. Obviously, I create my own content, as I know you do as well. So I never get tired of listening to myself.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some phenomenal different podcast resources out there.
Yeah.
I know Leisure is one of my top. So, but I don't want to steal your list.
For me, podcasts.
Yeah.
Right off the top, I listen to My First Million.
Okay. Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
That's a really good one. They talk a lot of tech. They talk a lot of building business and ideas from the ground up.
Nice.
A lot of it being with like solopreneurs or like small teams, which I like.
Right.
I watch All In podcast. Like I watched that the other day. That's more of like the broad overview of like macroeconomics.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And like what's going on with the mass AI boom, or like they talk to a lot of the CEOs or the founders of big corporations.
That's dope.
I like that. I listen to Myron Golden.
Okay.
Which that just brings me back to, you know, understanding that my foundation is Jesus, right? And I'll say this on the camera proudly, like that's always been my foundation.
Right.
So that's number one.
Okay.
And I should have started with that, but that's like that's the foundation. Like it's gospel music. Yeah. Listen.
We're gonna say in no particular order.
But that's like my foundation. Like it's gospel music first. I like to get to that, set the mood, and then I'll get into like a Myron Golden. Gotcha. If I'm not doing that, it's like an All In. Or if I'm not doing that, it's really just like listening to nothing. When it comes to, I'm a big person on peace and tranquility. So I like to listen to nothing or put a beat on and freestyle. Or, you know, write a poem. Like I do that. Nice. I'm a creative.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's I make music as well. Like it's something that many people don't know about me. And I'll say it here too. Like look me up on Apple Music, Spotify, Jordan Noel, but I got albums out. Right? I got 3 albums out. And that's fun side of me for sure, to where I don't get to show as much, because when it comes to business and creatives, it's how do you mix this in a way that people can resonate or not, you know, shame you or judge you, right? Yeah. Especially when I'm working with like PNC and these corporate places. Some of the things that I talk about on my creative side can be something that they can't really relate with as much, but where I actually come from, those people can relate with. Right. So yeah, that's like.
Nah, and I love that you shared that, because I recently heard, I forget where I heard it, but sometimes people try to take their passions and monetize everything. And then once the money's involved, they don't have the same love.
It's not the same love at all.
Yeah. So to your point, you know, there's a side of you that you don't probably put out there because it's just for you. And, you know, that's a space that we have to be comfortable living in. Like, you don't have to monetize everything you're good at if it doesn't, you know, if the love doesn't stay with it.
Absolutely.
You know, so I definitely think that's a good one.
And it's important not to let everyone into your space. Right. Because what I learned is people will mess up your space and your mental. Whether they know it or they're doing it on purpose or they just, you know, unconsciously doing it. People will mess up your environment. So hold some sacred things to yourself. That's how I look at it.
Absolutely. What is your top 3 investment options or strategies that you would recommend to somebody?
Yeah. So for me, as a business owner, you know, it's difficult. It's a lot more difficult than the corporate structure, right? One, you have to make sure you have cash flow. So I'm a big person on cash flow, having cash in the back of the hand, rather than necessarily investments or saving, because when it comes to business, you have to be able to act fast sometimes. So I like to have cash, right? One. Recently, I got into IRA. So that's another thing that I'm looking into doing. I was, you know, a risky investor. I'm gonna be honest. Growing up, now that I'm 29 and I'm starting to get older, I'm starting to be more moderate with my investing. But I was big into crypto. And I'm saying this for advice because I lost a lot of money. And the people that's you know going to be watching, they need to hear this. When you're investing, yes, you want to be risky, but you also want to risk management, right? Me, I just threw money into crypto.
Right.
Lost thousands of dollars because I think it's going to jump, which it did eventually. But when you don't have that risky management and you're shooting for $1 million rather than a 10x,
right?
You don't know when to cash out. You'll lose everything.
Right.
So that's the learning lesson here is where you can be up big money in investing, but just understand that you need to have some type of strategy. And TC is better at telling you about that than I would be,
So honestly, I'll say right now, one of the safe investments is policies. I have a tool that I recently just discovered where every financial institution you can think of, they pour their money and resource into policies because it's a product that's cash deferred, and also it's going to grow without any to no loss. So if you're interested, link up with me, but I can show you every bank you can think of. They list them of how much money, cash assets they pour into policies. And you be astonished how much money they making. So that'll be my tip to, So, and that's what got me interested.
Give me a policy. So like a life insurance policy or like a half life, whole life, stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay.
And once you see this chart, and that's what inspired me to start pouring even more, is because every bank, you name a bank, that's how they make money.
Okay.
On top of whatever else they do, loans and fees and stuff. But intentionally, they buy in the policies. And that's what really said, hey, I'm doing what the major players is doing.
and this is the importance, and it segues back in the importance of a network, guys. And that's why I like to be around people, because I'm not the biggest investor yet, right? And the key word is yet. But when you place yourself around people like TC or people like the PNC people, you can get advice.
Absolutely.
To what works best for you, because investment strategies don't always work best for an individual, right?
Yeah, because everybody's net income is different. Everybody's expenses are different. So those are two factors that play into what finances. So you can't get someone else's strategy and just automatically think that you're going to be able to adopt it. Now, there's some principles or some foundational pieces you can take from it that might be duplicatable. But somebody who is wealthy, they play in banks because their money's growing. They're just living off interest. But if you're not someone from wealth, playing in banks, banks are not designed to help you grow wealth. That's not what they're for. They're there to be able to have your money and lend it out tenfold to other people to make more money for themselves. Their return on investment to you is very little and marginal at best. So it's a place for you to be able to play in, but it's easier to deal with banks once you have money, because now you can just take advantage of the small interest that they give you and be good. But if you're trying to grow, you definitely have to find investment vehicles that work for you. And the only way to really do that is to understand people who are in those spaces.
Well, it's a question I have, and I want to ask it, let's put it in 3 different categories, low income, medium income, high income. For a low income type person, what is the first type of investment strategy should they do? Should it be, invested into a business to get more cash flow, or should it be invested into something like a policy to where
I would definitely say a policy, because the younger you are, because you got to understand the components to that. The younger you are and the healthier you are, the more you can leverage $1 million, $2 million policy. And now that can be, and we're not talking term here. We're talking whole life, IULs, things of that nature. So you have to understand how these products work before you put money into them. But that is a way for you to be able to do so without breaking the bank. Because a lot of times investing costs money. And this is a way for you to be able to have a $300, $400 policy that you pay into, but you're seeing cash value return. And now that cash value allows you to leverage for other things, and it's tax deferred, and you can pull from it where you're not now, like say there is interest attached to it, but let's say you don't pay back the interest. it's no harm, no foul. It just gets deducted from the death benefit.
So these are cheat code.
Yeah, for sure. So to your point, when we start talking about identifying people's income level, you need to, like I said, high wealthy income, they can invest all day because the return on value is going to always be there because they got the money.
Yeah.
But if you're middle class, low class, in order for you to build your wealth, you have to get in low and also be less adverse to risk. So now, you're pouring in. And now as you start to grow your net worth and grow your network, you can now start to be a high level income earner. And then you have so many different investment options open to you.
Makes sense.
Because that'd be the biggest thing with people. You don't have the foundational security in all your other finances. So therefore you're investing. And then as soon as an emergency happens, you got to pull from your investment.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then you get taxed.
Exactly.
Or you take a big hit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That makes sense.
But yeah, there's nuances to the conversation, but foundationally, you got to know the different strategies that people are doing.
Absolutely. And for me currently, and I'll be upfront with this, as a person who is actively building and iterating the idea, I do, and as a creative entrepreneur, I do again want to stress the importance of cash flow and having some type of money to fall back on, to pull from, to where you can operate an event if you need to, or you can rent a truck if you need to, if you have a moving job today, or you could pay your bills for 2 months to where you find a new contract, right? That's important to me. Right. Because I don't think the majority of entrepreneurs and business owners have any type of money sit to the side to emergency fund that they can pull from.
Absolutely.
So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. No, that's that. All right, brother. Let's plug this one more time, and then let's make sure everybody knows how to connect with you with Bridge City Connections. So, like we said again, we formed a partnership. I'm with United Purpose Mortgage, and he is with Bridge City Connections. We are sponsoring along with PNC, August 28th. We are doing Brick by Brick event where you can come and learn about not only business, connect with Jordan, learn about his platform, but also learn about United Purpose Mortgage as we try to help people understand home ownership. Even if you have a home, we've also be able to do some other type of loans and products with you. And then also on the PNC side, they'll be talking about business and commercial spaces and things of that nature. So make sure you show up and show out. It's 6 to 9, the co-hatch in the waterfront, and it's going to be I want to say their address is 135 West Bridge Street. So don't quote me on that.
That's good memory if you know that.
Yeah, I think I'm right, but
I don't know the address.
So definitely show up, show out. You can register on the Eventbrite, and Jordan will make sure that's on our social media platforms. But definitely make sure you guys show up so we can help you take your business or take your life to the next level.
Absolutely.
And then if you want to leave them how to connect with you on Bridge Connection.
Guys, make sure you follow us on all platforms. Yeah. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. I even have a TikTok account. Not much content on there yet, but there will be some coming soon. So follow us on Bridge City Connections. It's one word. Just follow us on there. Also, the link to the event will be in the bio. So if you're interested in looking at that up easily, just follow us on Instagram and click the link in the bio. The event for you to RSVP will be right in there for all the people. Or visit our website at www.bridgecityconnections.com, and you can see that same Eventbrite link on the homepage to where you can RSVP, register, send it out to people in your network, someone that may need to take advantage.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. So I want to thank my guest, Jordan Pratt, man.
Appreciate it, man.
He definitely brought some words of advice, talked about his organization, talked about resources. Now it's up to you to take action. But this is Financial Literacy with TC. I'm your money man boy, TC.
Shout out to TC.
We're going to continue to bring you guys live content. And again, I want to shout out UwebTV for making this all possible. Definitely connect with us, and we're going to keep this thing rolling.
Keep it rolling. Let's go, man.
Go.
Appreciate it, man.
Brother.
That was a good ass conversation.
I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling.